Hi guys, you are watching Aurora's vlog. Today, I'm so excited because I just heard a very good news. As you may have already know, or some of you probably have not, that we are in the process of adopting children from the Philippines, and we have started it last year. And so 2 days ago, I have talked to my adoption attorney, and she was the one who told me about this new adoption law. President Duterte signs law simplifying adoption process for Filipino children. What does it mean? So if you want to hear more about it, please stick around and support my channel by liking and subscribing. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you are also in the process, please share your experience. And if you have already been there and done that, please share your experiences as well. So anyway, let's get this video going. All right, so let's start from the very beginning. So we have started the adoption process last year. January, I spoke to the attorney and we have gathered all the information. I already paid my half of my dues. And so we run into like, hey, you are American citizen, you need to be dual citizen. So being that the children that I'm going to be adopting is my own nieces, they are siblings, there are three of them. I have been supporting them ever since 2013. That is when both parents have gone from their lives. And so at that time, those children, I brought them to my dad. I housed them. It's a tiny house. It's doable. Right next to my dad, so my dad can supervise them, and my other nephews and nieces who is around my dad can supervise the children. Since then, I have been financially sending them help, sending them to school, buying them all their materials that they needed. I'm always calling them, to see what's going on. And so we are going to proceed as domestic adoption from the Philippines because that is going to be a lot easier. I can just start the process. And also, since this is nieces, it's a lot easier. They are calling this relative adoption. So I'm gonna read to you what is a fourth degree of consanguinity or affinity definition. So it means parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, spouse, children, siblings, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, nieces, or nephews. So they are default into this category, nieces and nephews. Those are the fourth degree of consanguinity. We started processing it, but then again, COVID gets spiked up in the Philippines, so I do not want to go over there. We're supposed to be going last year, but because of the COVID, the quarantining back then in the Philippines was 14 days. And I do not have 14 days to be wasting my time away inside the hotel. So we decided to not going that year. And also I said, let's just go ahead and wait until the pandemic will slow down, but it doesn't. So I said, the children are getting older and I cannot wait. And even though Omicron's right now is going bad, I have to go. Luckily, both me and my husband are fully vaccinated. Well, not quite fully. We have our booster shot appointment next week. We're going to be fully vaccinated before we go to the Philippines. Right now, if you are fully vaccinated, you go to the Philippines, you will be quarantining for 7 days if you are coming from the yellow list, yellow country. If you're coming from the red list, I think it's 10 days. That's very long. Right now, America is in the yellow, so we are going to be quarantining 5 days. And then if your swab test after 5 days being quarantined is negative, you will be released and continue to quarantining from home to 7 days. So which is good. After that, we are going to be processing within those time frames. So anyways, just 2 days ago, it was Thursday, January 13 here in America. And my attorney was online and I saw her. And because, they're very hard to catch. You're always very busy. I took advantage of it. I messaged her and I said, hey, our flight is confirmed. We're going to be there by May. Please guide us. I do not know. Give us an idea. What does it look like? Since we only have 21 days being there, out of those 21 days, we're going to have 7 days at least quarantining. So we only have 14 days left to be doing all the process. And so she said, before we move forward, I got to tell you the news. And I said, what's the good news? And she said, the law has just passed today, actually yesterday. She said, well, it was 13 for me in America. So she said, the law is that President Duterte signed. They were talking about it last year, but I haven't said it to you because it was just a rumor. But finally, it is officially now. It passes the law now. She said that Duterte signed laws simplifying adoption process for Filipino children. And I asked her, I said, oh my God, so what does that mean? And she said, well, then the process of adoption can take a year to 3 years. And so for the new law, it can only take 6 months to 9 months. I said, oh my God. I said, what does that mean for me? If we started this year, you might be done finalizing the adoption at the end of the year. That is a very good news. So what happened was last year when we started January, I wasn't dual. I'm a US citizen. You need to get your dual citizenship. Well, at the time, it was difficult to go to the embassy at the Los Angeles. It's because of the COVID. And you cannot get any appointment at all online. It's so hard. But when I heard that we are going to have a Philippine outreach here in Arizona, I took advantage of it. I tried to get an appointment. I cannot get in. So what I did is I walk in. And they said they're not going to serve walk-in people, but I did anyways. I walked in the first day of the outreach, got my dual citizenship because the event took 2 days. The next day, which is Sunday, I walk in again and I got my Philippine passport. So now I have Philippine passport, I have a US passport, and I also have dual citizenship certificate. And so my attorney said, so she was working on the papers and I just couldn't go. And she said, when are you coming? So we can sign these papers. And so I just couldn't go because for one thing, I just started my job. I do not have any accumulation of paid time off, so I can't. And then added to that is the COVID quarantine 14 days. I do not have 14 days. I just can't. So I told my attorney, I'm just going to have to wait till after 1 year, which is next year. I will be 1 year from work so I can accumulate enough. Luckily, this year, my work just approved that they do not have this before. They approve of anybody that going through adoption, giving birth, or family medical leave for any health reason. They are going to give you 3 months of paid leave. It used to be the family medical leave from my job. You can leave, but you don't get paid. If you want to, if you choose to, you can get paid of whatever your PTO time left. But no, I don't even have to touch my PTO. They're going to pay me for the time that they said 3 months. So I quickly requested it and I said, hey, I'm going to get my adoption process going. I'm going to be also bonding with my children. There is no placement yet because I'm still in the process. Can I take 4 weeks? I'm not going to take the full 3 months because some of that I can just split and use that some other time when the adoption can be finalized. And they said, yeah, go ahead. So now I am hesitating. Why did I only ask for 4 weeks? Because I might be, who knows, good Lord, I hope that if we arrive there, we're not going to be positive. But if you're going to be positive, you have to be quarantined for 14 days in the Philippines. And if we go there for 21 days, how many days left we have? Only 7 days? No. So I think I am planning on asking my employer to give me at least 6 weeks to leave the country so I can go ahead and get ready in case my flights gets canceled, in case I will have to be quarantined 2 weeks. That way, if I be quarantined for 2 weeks, I still have 4 weeks to process my adoption to the Philippines. So that's very, very, very good news to me. Also, I have somebody who questioned me. They said, how can you adopt from the Philippines? Let me read to you what I found. Is right here. There is a special residency requirement for foreign adopters. So my husband is foreign. I'm also considered foreign, but since I am a dual, I'm okay. They must have been residing in the Philippines for at least 3 continuous years prior to filing the petition for adoption. But this residency, now listen to this, but this residency requirement can be waived if the adoptee is a relative of the adopter or adopter's spouse within the fourth civil degree of consanguinity of or affinity, or is a legitimate child of the adopter's Filipino spouse. That is a very good news, meaning once my adoption can be finalized, I'm expecting for my adoption to be finalized at the end of the year if we started it now. Then after the process, I am going to petition them to come over to the United States. Usually it can only take to a year. I do not know with the pandemic now is going on. But this is a very good news because the Philippines itself, I'm not going to be waiting 3 to 4 years for them to finalize my adoption. So my attorney herself is telling me if we start right now, it's going to be done between 6 to 9 months. So this is also meaning that me and my husband will have to travel twice to the Philippines this year. So we're planning on leaving by April, and hopefully everything will be smooth. And I'm so excited. Thank you guys. Please pray for us that our process and travel to the Philippines will be safe and it's going to be smooth. And I am going to be definitely will be talking about this in the future. I need to get this going even though the pandemic is spiking up again, because the eldest is already 16, the middle is 13, and the youngest is 11. And I do not want them to get old fast. It seems to be going fast because the youngest one, she was only 1 month old. Now she's already 11. I did not do the adoption process back then because I do not know what to do, where to begin, who to speak to. But now that I have more information in hand, so I pull the trigger and hopefully this will be successful. And thanks guys for listening, and pray for us that this will be smoothly. The children are suffering right now because of the Odette. Right now they do not have roof over their head, so I send them to my dad. Luckily my dad is right next to them. My dad also's house is damaged just a little bit. When it rains, it pours inside their room, those girls. So I am in the process of fixing my dad's roof, and I'm not sure if I can fix the other house yet, because this is 2 houses I'm talking about, and I'm just taking it, one day at a time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching Aurora's vlog, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.